Hey there, what's up? Today we're going to be looking at the new iPad Pro. Now, when Apple first announced this, my first thought was, who is this for exactly? If you're a Pro, then to be frank, you're going to want an operating system more fully featured like Windows or OS X. While iOS is a great mobile operating system, it hasn't really proven itself as a viable creative operating system like the two I just mentioned. So again, who is this for? The first thing you'll notice when you unpack the iPad Pro is just the sheer size of the thing compared to other iPads and tablets. Coming in at just under 13 inches, this is a big iPad. That size comes with its own share of issues, as after a while you just can't hold it with one hand like you would a regular iPad or iPad mini. While the weight is well distributed, there's just too much for comfortable one-hand use. That means you'll spend most of your time with the iPad on your lap or on a desk, which again is kind of the point, since if you're a professional, odds are you're going to be working at your desk or sitting down, and you're definitely not going to want to work single-handedly on something professional. As you'd expect from Apple, the display is fantastic. As someone who regularly uses Retina displays on both an iPhone and 27-inch iMac, this to me is the best display Apple has ever shipped. You just really have to see it in person. It's great for viewing photos and watching movies. I easily watched the first few episodes of Jessica Jones on Netflix using the iPad Pro without a second thought. Viewing angles are fine, however, it isn't great for outdoor viewing because of reflections. iOS 9 is incredibly smooth and blazing fast on the iPad Pro, and features like split view multitasking truly come into their own, since the screen is so large you can effectively have two regular iPad screens on the go at once. It's pretty neat, and for users of Microsoft Office or Apple's iWork software, it's pretty invaluable. Copying and pasting on a tablet has never been better. I know. The other side benefit of the screen being so large is that you now get a full-size touch keyboard on the display. This is the first full touch keyboard that I've been totally comfortable using without any learning. It just felt exactly like typing on a regular keyboard. Apps that are built for the iPad Pro and take full advantage of it are what will decide if this becomes just a bigger iPad or something a bit more meaningful. I can say that since getting it, I've used the iPad for just as much creating as I have consuming. All the artwork for this channel was created on an iPad Pro. All the setup for the channel was done too. This review? Typed up and edited on the iPad Pro. Now, there is a catch. You see, when Apple sells you the iPad Pro, you're not really getting the full experience unless you invest fully in the hardware, and by that I mean accessories, namely the Apple Pencil and the smart keyboard cover. Unfortunately, due to low stocking, I haven't been able to test out the smart keyboard, but using it in one of the Apple stores, it seemed perfectly fine, if a little overpriced for the functionality. You can, however, attach a regular Bluetooth keyboard, and might be worth just doing that. The Apple Pencil, however, is another story altogether. Yeah, I laughed when Apple first announced it, turned my nose up at it, and wrote it off as just another stylus. But then I used it, and where all of the styluses have failed, the Apple Pencil succeeds in spades. Latency, or a sense of delay between what you're doing and what you see on the screen, has been noticeable on other tablets, but not with the Apple Pencil. It really does feel like you're using a pen or pencil with no noticeable lag. Added to that, the pencil can detect when you're holding it at an angle, and it will react just as a regular pencil would, with wider strokes. It's very cool, and I'd urge you to seek one out in an Apple store and try it. Even if you're used to something like what you get with the Surface Pro, you're probably going to be impressed by the Apple Pencil. Now, it won't turn you into an artist overnight, but you know what? It'll probably be the first time since school when you've actually wanted to try and draw it just for the fun of it. It's had its uses in everyday life too. For example, when Robert needed instructions on how to set up an Elgato to his PlayStation laptop, I just went into the Notes app, sketched it out, and sent it to him. Way quicker and easier than explaining in a text or phone call. It's just handy. Charging the pencil is pretty awkward though. You see, the top of the pencil is a cap, underneath of which is a lightning connector that you plug into the bottom of the iPad. And Apple claims that 30 seconds of charging will get you about 15 minutes of use. So it's not like this is a lengthy process, but it is uncharacteristically clumsy for Apple and not very intuitive if you're on the go. They do include an adapter that will let you plug the pencil into a regular lightning cable like the one included with your iPhone, but it's pretty small and wouldn't be surprising if you lost it pretty quickly. Another problem is that there isn't any way to clip the pencil to your iPad for when you're on the go. It's another weird oversight, and it's not like Apple hasn't had time to study the strengths and weaknesses of similar competing products like the Surface, which now magnetizes the pen to its side. The iPad Pro retails for £679, and the Apple Pencil will set you back another $79. And if you want to go the whole hog and get the keyboard too, that's about another £139 as well, though there are cheaper third-party offers. That's a pretty steep investment, especially when you consider you can pick up a Microsoft Surface for cheaper. But I'd imagine if you're looking at buying an iPad, then you already know you don't want to buy into Microsoft's vision of the tablet-laptop hybrid. If you are looking for an iPad and the price doesn't put you off, then I really don't think you'll regret buying the iPad Pro. It is, after all, the best iPad Apple has ever made, at least until next year. It just also happens to be the biggest. And to me, I think this is an iPad for everyone.